The McElroy brothers are not experts, and their advice should never be followed. Travis insists he's a sexpert, but if there's a degree on his wall, I haven't seen it. Also, this show isn't for kids, which I mention only so the babies out there will know how cool they are for listening. What's up, you cool baby?
It's familiar, but not too familiar, but not too not familiar. It's a new craze. Hey, good girls, do you wanna just say, hey, I wanna? Just say, hey, I wanna.
The weather outside is frightful. Merry Christmas, everyone.
It's 81 degrees outside of my house right now. It's 81 degrees.
It's going to be a warm Christmas at the McElroy household. By that, I mean Griffin McElroy.
I guess that's kind of frightful when you think about like the earth and the fate of the world and its peoples.
Christmas time has sprung because Halloween's over. So we're full-blown Christmas season. I got my Scrooged graphic T-shirt on, which I wear every holiday season. A frosty mug of cocoa, hot cocoa.
I actually literally just drank some hot cocoa.
Well, hey, kids, I'm Tom Turkey.
Okay.
Let me teach y'all a little lesson about why Thanksgiving deserves a chance.
Tom Turkey, you had your fucking time in late August, and you fucking blew it because you slept through it.
I was on vacation.
Yeah, I know you were, but you...
I'm filled with tryptophan.
What we should do is we should start celebrating American Thanksgiving during Canadian Thanksgiving, which is in October, pre-Halloween, and just get it out of the way.
Listen, okay, straight up though, it's an arbitrary date anyways for Thanksgiving. Like, it changes every year, and it's just, does it really matter? Why not just make it like
23rd?
I don't know, March.
No, I mean we should settle on a fucking date on this fucking thing. Because it's
September 17th.
No, it's the 23rd. The 23rd, I feel like, is a good average Thanksgiving day. And it's not like when the Pilgrims and the Native Americans had their first sit-down, their first collabo. It's not like that shit happened on, like, a set Thursday. It was a day, you know what I mean? It was the 23rd, I think.
It's not like the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, which happened December 25th at 6:38 p.m.
Yeah, it would be like if we celebrate Christmas. Like, when was Jesus born? I don't know. Tuesday? The third Tuesday, maybe? I don't know. It seems about right.
It seemed like a Tuesday. It had a Tuesday vibe in the Bible.
Historians have a hard time pinning down. Nope, 25th. It says so. Ecclesiastes 22.
Here's the problem, though, is that if we don't do the Thanksgiving on like a floating day, one year it'll just be like a big Saturday lunch. Like, there will be nothing special about it except, we had 3 more sides than normal.
Oh, maybe for you, Eatotron. Yes, that would be your robot name.
Oh, okay.
Because you eat so much all the time?
Right.
Yeah. I'm not saying you're fat, but you do eat you consume a lot of content.
Well, I want other people to not have it.
Fair enough. This is My Brother, and Me. It's an advice show for the modern era. You wouldn't know it from our intro, but it is a comedy program, and we're going to be serving up fresh laughs to you just as soon as we find our rhythm. It's been a while since we've made a live, an actual program. I'd say about 3 weeks or so since we've made an actual My Brother,
We've
Me
been
episode.
busy.
Well, you've been busy.
That's not an excuse. To the people at home, we're just voices that come into their ears. Like, we're not human beings.
They don't have time for marriages and other big important life events.
Yeah,
They don't want to see us, wiping off the grease paint. Returning back to our lives.
We don't have any stage door Johnnies that are waiting for a glimpse of us as we slip out the back of the podcasting theater.
As soon as we pronounce that "kiss your dad square on the lips," we die for a week.
We die in their minds. We have no lives and certainly don't have weddings
Or murder mysteries.
But that's okay. We're here in your ears now. Let us cradle you into wisdom with this first question. Since American politics have become such a hot topic lately, I've been having a problem with one of my closest friends. Recently, he's been getting extremely vocal and animated about his opinions whenever he finds a news article or political meme on the internet. Although we don't share the same views on these matters, he and I normally have a great time when we hang out. But since he's been constantly bringing up these topics, I find him difficult to be around. I don't want to ostracize him from my life, and I've told him a few times that talking about politics isn't how I want to spend my time with him, but he just won't listen. Is there a way I can avoid these conversations while also maintaining our friendship? And that's from Congressionally Confused in Connecticut.
Someone has to be engaging with him. Like, there's no way he's just sitting there and Obama, right? And like nobody answers, and he just keeps going. Because if so, your friend is insane.
You gotta make him feel small. You gotta learn so much more about whatever subjects he wants to talk about that you politics him under the table. Like if you haven't already started, it may actually be too late. But if you need to start, reading Le Monde exclusively, you need to start reading back catalog of The Economist and just get like so deep in politics.
You could do that, or you could do what my parents did when I thought that I would start discussing politics with them. And this is actually pretty savvy on their part, so I'll pass this on along to you. What they did was when I would start espousing political opinions, they would just keep asking me questions about my political opinions until that thin veneer of basically a hodgepodge, papier-mâché construction of hope and good feelings and just a minimal amount of information
And stuff you learn from the Daily Show.
and exactly, and that became sort of a tapestry that I would wrap myself in, and they would just ask questions about my beliefs until they crumbled around me.
This would have predated the Daily Show, though. This interaction, like I don't know where did you get
age me, Griffin?
where did
Jesus.
you? No, I'm saying you're old as fuck, but where did you get your shit? Like Nick News? What was your?
He read it on The Onion.
The Onion, the paper one, the Onion, and I would
guess.
say,
That would be great. Every time your friend brings up an article like he read in USA Today, bring up an article you read in The Onion. It's like, and you can believe this? He's mating with aliens.
Listen, you're basically fucking describing Facebook.
Yeah.
That is
That's fair.
basically just my Facebook wall right now that you're describing. Hey, Obama's a Muslim. Hey, somebody at a mall believed something about a dragon. That's the Onion headline, isn't it? I don't read much.
Pretty good.
It's not bad. I'll find it.
Does anybody?
Obama says French fries are Benghazi.
I have friends that are I would say very political. They talk about political things, but like, does anyone really like talking about this shit? Is there anyone that it doesn't make you just feel impotent? And
Here's the thing.
so
That's the
angry?
thing. Nobody enjoys talking with other people about this. They like talking at other people about this. They like just hurling facts and knowledge and random shit. I guess in the hopes that the other people listening will just realize that they are the superior political mind.
Like
People say not to discuss religion and politics because it's impolite, and I think that's fair because it rarely leads to any sort of positive discussion. But I think the other side of that is because they're also, those conversations, almost by definition, can't be fruitful.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have one of two things. Either you're going to have two people so dug in that all they are doing is espousing their own beliefs at the other person and until they run out of breath, or you're basically going to have an echo chamber where you're hearing your own beliefs repeated back to you. Neither one is healthy.
well, somebody's got to be.
you
somebody's gotta
ain't
be-
Lincoln Douglas. You know what I mean?
Somebody's got to be listening to this shit, though, or else explain Ron Paul. Ron Paul started with one guy that was like, Ron Paul talked to this one dude, and that dude was like, oh my God, Ron Paul, I'm so into you. And then he told two friends, and then they told two friends, and then all of a sudden you had the Ron Paul extranet of human beings. You had the Ron Paul hive mind, and that was started by word of mouth. That wasn't big political contributions. Can I tell you guys a few things about Ron Paul that I like?
How long do you have? I
Can
know
you-
everybody's lives are so
Are
busy,
you
but
opening to joining with me and opening your hearts and just joining the revolution? That's what we call the revolution, but there's love in there. Let me tell you all about it. Do you like guns? Ron Paul sure as shit doesn't.
if your friend
Think.
wants to talk about politics, you should carry around in your pocket forms to sign up for the next election to like make him run for city council. If he is so belligerent about this, make him run for political office. That's your only out, because if he's not going to do that, then he's not serious enough about it. And if he does do that, you have to be his campaign manager. Oops, you fucked up now. You played chicken and you lost.
You love
Oh,
segment.
cut to 40 years from now. He's president, and you're his chief of staff. And then you're like, hey, by the way, I've never really liked you that much. This was all a mistake.
But I'm proud of the progress that you've made. Too bad that you beat the shit out of Ron Paul in the primaries. I was really rooting for that guy. I heard some really good news about him.
What if every time your friend brings up 2013 American politics, you bring up 1913 American politics, but don't let him know the difference? But like, and I hear that they're voting on something called prohibition, and then just see if eventually he'll stop hanging out with you.
Or you could always bring up rap beefs. Those are about the same thing. Yeah, but when they got Biggie,
Who?
it was almost
The
like
GOP.
GOP. When the GOP got Biggie, that's when things
I mean,
really
they
went wrong.
probably fucking did. I could send you guys some literature, but that shit was entirely politically driven.
Griffin, do you have a Yahoo
It's
for
a
us?
three-way beef between Pac, Biggie, and Ron Paul. And let's just say one of them's still alive, and then the other two died.
Ron Paul was like, Biggie, they might call you the IRS because I'm not convinced of your continued solvency.
And Ron Paul said nothing. He just got it fucking done. He just did the damn thing.
Just did the,
He did the damn
did that
thing.
hit. He
did
did
do
that
it
hit on
once?
Biggie.
No, he did it twice. Mystery solved. And now you know the rest of the story. Ron Paul, 2014. When's the next election?
Wait. Yahoo, please.
This Yahoo, as long as we're talking about politics, this Yahoo was sent in by Harrison Ross. Thanks, Harrison. It's by Yahoo Answers user, a friendly cow, top contributor, who asks, why can't you just walk into a store and take something, then walk out? Like, who is going to stop you? Walmart stopped funding that greeters, so you could just walk in, take whatever, and walk out, as long as it doesn't have one of the things that make the alarms by the door go off.
That's actually an unspoken law. If
What?
no one sees you, then you're good. It's like, oh, you got us.
If you're saying shoplifting is legal, if you can cross the barrier and nobody sees you, the statute of limitations on that is until you get to your car.
Yeah.
And then once you're there, it's ollie ollie oxen free.
I mean, that's the question. If the question is why don't you do that, the answer is everybody does all the time.
Yeah.
You've just described the exact conditions through which everyone is stealing everything.
Everyone's doing. I've never shoplifted anything in my life.
Can I tell you why everyone doesn't do that? Because it's not exactly like everybody who would shoplift from Walmart is a master thief. I worked in loss prevention at Best Buy, and like the ability to be like, oh, look at that person who's like hiding their eyes and looking around, and it's like, yeah, you're not exactly like Pink Panther in this shit.
But-
like it's that guy in the
like-
hoodie who won't make eye contact with anyone.
But like at Walmart, what's gonna like someone what I've never understood. You can just grab the thing and walk out the door, and even if somebody's like, "Hey, you can't do that. I work at Walmart. You have to pay for that." What's stopping you from just being like, "No," and there's really not anything you can do to stop me, and then getting in your car and driving away?
I mean, you can't do that. Can't they detain you? Can't they chain
No,
you?
they
to a
can't. You know
radiator or
why? Because
something?
I'm a fucking adult, and they have no legal authority over me.
So wait, Griffin, are you implying that all of capitalism is just a smokescreen, and we only do it because we think we have to do it?
I'm saying that the societal norms are all entirely projected into our own minds by ourselves and our teachers. I'm saying if I go to Target right now, I can pick up a fucking PlayStation 3 and walk out the door, and someone's like, "Hey, you can't take that. I work at Target." And I can say, "You're not my dad," like later. And then I can hop on my
okay.
skateboard that I've been riding through Target the entire time because nobody can they can't touch me. That's for fucking
It's
sure.
like Target is like a haunted house rules. They can't touch you.
They can't touch you. They're not gonna. There's a security guard by the door. He's not a fucking ordained by the city. My taxes don't pay his salary. He's not gonna fucking shoot me later.
If you ever want to have some fun,
His gun squirts mustard.
His gun-
like there's no way he can't.
That's why he
stop
sits
you.
by the fucking food court. He is not a cop. Later, dog. Later.
if you ever want to have some fun, if you're at like a big box store, trust me, as someone who worked in loss prevention, they won't do shit until you try to leave with it, even if they watch you do it. So just make eye contact with someone in the electronics department and put something down your pants. And then just before you leave, pull it back out and put it on a shelf.
Okay.
And then just walk out and goodbye, everybody. And like, you've done...
Or can I give you an alternative theory? Just shove it down your pants and walk the fuck out of the store because they're not cops. I wouldn't shoplift from a cop store, a cop goods store staffed entirely by cops, because they're gonna fucking enforce that shit.
Travis, what could you actually do to someone you thought was stealing?
Like what was my process?
Crack this open. Crack open how fucking impotent these dudes are. They
It
can't
really
do
is. Okay,
shit.
listen, I don't want to put all security guards on blast because I feel like I'm betraying my brotherhood. But here's the thing, you guys: the amount of the amount of things that you have to prove before you can even have someone arrested.
Right.
Like, here's the thing: I could watch you, Griffin McElroy, do it. Right.
Yeah,
Steal something.
And you know, I'm fucking going to after this goddamn podcast.
And then if I lost eye contact, like if I lost visuals on you and you were just gone and then showed back up, I couldn't do shit.
Couldn't do
because I couldn't
shit.
prove. All you would have to say is like, no, I put it back.
Hey, that's
Griffin,
not cool.
well,
I'm going to call real cops. All right, they'll be here in like 20 minutes. Later. My car is
point, Griffin,
20 feet away. Bye.
The point Griffin is making is not that it's not about whether or not they see you do it. What he's saying is they can watch you do it, watch you walk out the door, and they cannot do anything.
They can't do fucking anything because they're not a cop or my dad. If my dad was working loss prevention, he's like, "No, son, don't." I'd be like, "All right, I'll put it back," and I put it back. But very rarely would that happen because my dad doesn't work retail.
That would be a sweet, like, some sort of a duel between. They bring on Clint because he's the only one that can stop Griffin. It'll be sort of a Thomas Crown Affair vibe.
I think
Griffin's
that's
like rappelling through the ceiling, and Dad like cuts the string.
Except by
with
rappelling through
scissors.
the stealing, you mean like just walking
Just
in the
walking
door
in,
and
taking
picking up a
shit.
handful of boxes of Mike and Ike's and walking out.
if you think I would go that small, I mean, I will go that small. I'll go small to big. I'm not paying for shit anymore. I don't want to.
I don't believe in shoplifting. It makes me so sad because I know who it affects. So what I do is I go in and I pick up the thing and then I leave like a clay pot I've made or some like shiny stones.
You you like covert bartering, basically.
Yeah,
You like
well,
very
I know that
one-sided bartering.
they can't say yes to it because then everybody would do it. But I know that they appreciate those sand dollars.
It's like farting in yoga class. That is what I equate shoplifting to, is like farting in yoga class. Because you've done inventory at a major retail chain before. I have too. I imagine Justin has too, since he's worked about 28 retail jobs. It's like, you know, typically 75-80%, and then the other shit gets just straight up cribbed. And if you become a cog in that machine, you're literally just a drop in the bucket. You're adding 0.0001 to the shoplifting rate at that point. Like, it doesn't fucking everybody's
Griff,
doing
I
it.
do want to drop. When I worked at Best Buy, I had like 10 fools arrested
Yeah.
How, Travis? How?
because I called the cops before they tried to leave.
But you
the
said
cops
they
are
won't do
waiting
anything
Hold on.
until they try to leave.
until they try to leave, and so then the people would walk out the door, and the cops would fucking come in.
No, okay,
Did you
Travis.
profile
How on earth?
people?
Because I was fucking on point.
Right,
I was-
with your profiling?
No, because I want. Okay, so this is why there are greeters, because people come in and you say hi, and like your normal average person goes, "Oh, hi," and then people who are coming in
So
to
if they
steal
look at you,
shit.
they're like, can't talk. Gotta steal.
No, there are people that would come in and suddenly they'd be so surprised that a human being was like acknowledging them. They'd be like, "What?
Hi. In which
Gotta steal something.
in which aisle is your small and valuable things? About pocket sized, please.
Do you have that special belt that loosens your pants?
The thing is like all you have to do is watch people, and people, like I said, are not exactly master thieves. So they're like looking around all shady and like hiding stuff, and like, you know, when you see a 12-year-old kid checking out the refrigerator section, it's like,
Travis,
no, you're back there
I'm
stealing
not-
stuff.
I'm going to give you one last chance at this before I just declare your entire former profession made up. You can't physically stop people as they're leaving the store, correct?
If someone went, all right, let's paint a hypothetical.
No. I can. I have to prove that they were bypassing the checkout.
You can't fucking touch them, though. You can't grab them by the scruff. That's what I'm saying. If someone walked into the store and went,
I heartily
let me
disagree.
finish my scenario. Someone walks in the store, goes full-blown supermarket sweep in 2.5 minutes, just like runs through the phone aisle like, wee, just like knocking shit into their giant pants, and then runs out. You can't do shit about that scenario.
I would tackle the shit out of them.
You can't. That's assault. That's assault, and you go to jail. I don't want that to happen to you, my brother.
I wouldn't do very well in prison.
I'm just saying
But
you
here's the
wouldn't be able
thing.
to.
I would though.
The settlement would pay for all the shit that he was going to steal, and then you'd be back to square one.
But see, the problem is, Griffin.
You're not
and I don't know why.
Batman. You're not
I don't
Batman.
know why we've
Batman
been
didn't
talking
work at
about this
Best
now
Buy. He
for
was
20
incredibly
minutes.
wealthy.
But the problem is the fiction that you're creating
Yes.
is not how people shoplift.
It's reality.
No, I've never seen anyone do that. I agree that would be a solid play.
The reason
But
people
for
don't- the reason people
but
don't
people are
shoplift,
trying to
like-
heist it. People are trying to Ocean's 11 it.
Right.
And like the first person I ever had arrested was hiding it in a baby carriage.
Yeah.
Like, just pick up the thing and walk out. I do agree with you.
That's
except
what I'm
people
saying.
Just don't do it that way.
They're not yet. Not till this episode hits the fucking web.
God, Travis, I bet when you would catch someone stealing, like literally the second the cops are out of earshot, you would just like crank Katrina and the Waves and just dance around the store. Like
I actually, the first time I had someone arrested, I jumped up and down in celebration so hard I hurt my ankle.
Just like Batman does.
I
I think that's how the killing joke ended.
I am here at Starbucks studying, and there's a guy taking up the only two comfy chairs with him in his bag, is putting his feet on the little table that is shared between them, and hasn't bought a drink. I have no plans on sitting on them, but it's annoying me how inconsiderate it is. I just asked the barista if they can do something about it, and they said they can't even talk to the customers. What can I do to fix this without getting into fisticuffs? And that's from Not a Single Fuck Was Given in South Texas.
Can I just say something? Can I just say something really quick based on this new fucking worldview that I've adopted since we started recording? Just walk up to him and take his bag. Just take his bag and walk out. What is he like? What can he possibly do? He can't touch you.
No, he actually can at that point.
I don't
Because
think
he is not associated with the store.
I don't think you get the fucking castle doctrine at Starbucks, no matter how much you think you live there, Brad.
He's still associated with like humanity and the law, and you could say, "Hey, you assaulted me. I was just trying to steal that."
I just,
Whoa.
Listen.
Mine's a victimless crime in that no one was physically injured, but
Right. This is why we have the liner at the beginning saying don't do anything we say, because I'm basically telling everybody, just fucking whatever's not nailed down, man. Grab it and go.
I think, question asker, I think what you need to do is to realize that this seems inconsiderate until you consider that everyone in the world is inconsiderate and terrible.
That's not
And
true.
so this is pretty basic. If you ever need proof of it, all you have to do is travel. Having just like been on so many flights and going through so many
Listen to
airports,
this.
it is like this. It is this microscope under which you can view the inconsiderate nature of all humanity.
You go on one honeymoon, and all of a sudden you've seen the curvature of our terrible Earth.
Curvature of the Terrible Earth was my favorite pop band in the 80s.
I think this is a very different. I mean, I think they're very different people. Me, when I go into a place that is my home, literally all I'm thinking about is, please God, don't let anybody yell at me. Just let me not get yelled at for this time that I've left my door and will soon return to it. Please don't let me get yelled at. If I'm at Starbucks, I'm pretty sure that when I plug my laptop into the wall, they're gonna yell at me. Hey,
you're doing
that's our
something wrong.
juice.
Yeah.
Are you going to buy 4 coffees? It's 4 coffee fee. Use the plug. Like, I didn't
I
know.
just think it's a different world where some people don't think that
I think
way.
it's very possible that this person doesn't know what a dickfish they're being. And if that's the case, then just walk up to him and say, hey, can I move your bag and sit down, please?
Hey, do you know what my pet peeve is? As long as we're talking about inconsiderate people. And it's when someone either like walks into a doorway in a room or gets to the bottom of a set of stairs and stops. When there's like a group of people behind. I was on a tour of a castle and a very small doorways, very small thing, and people would like get inside the doorway of a room and stop and look around. And it's like, hey, dog, there's 30 people behind you.
Life is so hard when your castle tours are interrupted that way.
I know, Jesus. It's like,
Hey,
you
is
can't
this what it's
hear
gonna
yourself.
be? Is this how it's gonna be?
I'm just,
Is this how it's gonna be?
I think that you run a real risk. Travis does have a fair point that
Thank you.
I don't think everyone on Earth is that way, but I think that if you're looking for people like that, you will find no shortage of inconsiderate people.
especially at Starbucks. You're looking
Especially
at the
at
worst
Starbucks.
place.
And I think that if you allow it, you are constantly going to be annoyed by people that aren't directly inconveniencing you. And I know it's annoying, but like, unless you're being directly, like if you're looking for a seat, I think you're 100% within your right to say, hey, would you mind if I sat there? Like, that's human and natural, and that's how we should be interacting with each other. But if you don't need a seat and you leave your seat, first off, you could lose your seat, bummer. But secondly, like, it doesn't. It's not
Actually,
your business.
the TikTok seat lock is enforceable by law.
That is
You're
that is
allowed-
the only thing that our fucking legal system can allow.
And you can actually assault someone if
You
they
can
break
fucking
it.
beat the
you can
shit
steal
out of
their
someone.
shit.
We
But
would say-
TikTok seat lock
Is
is
TikTok seat lock what you had in college?
Yeah.
We had Barber shop. That's what we.
But
we
what would you say? TikTok,
Barbershop.
TikTok
When you-
barbershop.
No, we would just say barbershop when you,
You would
get
quote
up.
your
and
favorite
you can't-
barbershop line.
But
from
wouldn't that be confusing if you were just going to the haircut place and you were like just announcing to your friends like, oh, barbershop, and they're like, oh,
Travis.
should I send a seater? He's gonna go get a shave and a polish.
It was the 70s. We didn't get haircuts.
That's
What
fine.
was your guys' favorite barbershop movie?
I think it was Barbershop 2.
That's right. I don't know when people started getting so rude. I don't know what the turning point, what the tipping point was, to use a Malcolm Gladwell concept. That at some point shit done tipped and everyone got really rude. I think it's when Touched by an Angel went off the air.
We didn't have the soothing influence of Roma
Without-
Downey there.
I think
Without
if Roma
Son of
Downey had
Heaven.
walked into this Starbucks and be like, "Oh, child, you should get up and not. You're occupying 3 seats." Because
Do you know which one was Roma Downey?
I'm Roma Downey.
Which one was she?
Who do you think she was?
I thought she was the large black woman.
No, you're
Okay,
done
so,
wrong.
all right,
Okay,
you
so you, in trying to fuck me, got fucked yourself.
The old Roma Downey fuckaroo.
You done flipped it on yourself. Hoist
I
it on
believe
your.
it was Robert Downey Jr.'s wife.
Oh no!
I think that's inaccurate. First
I
off, she would
think
have
she
to
was
take.
she was a gypsy woman, I believe.
She would have to take the junior first if they got
fair.
married. Secondly, where do you get off
Where do you
challenging
fucking start?
people's touched by an angel knowledge when you yourself are pretty fuzzy on the basics of touched by an angel?
Listen,
and the
all
nature
I
of
need
Roma
to know
Downey.
is, was James Spader on that show, or am I thinking of the wrong dude?
He's on every show, but I think he was on that one too.
This is what happens. You miss 2 weeks of episodes,
You
and
think
I
that
forget
because-
who Roma Downey is.
Do you guys want another Yahoo?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, I still had that tab open about why can't you just take shit, and it makes me so angry. This Yahoo was sent in by Ashley Burghardt. Thanks, Ashley. It's by Yahoo Answers user Powerhouse Stan, who asks, "Can your girlfriend break up with you if she doesn't like your Facebook photos? We've been going out for 3 days, but she's been very distant. I don't know. Before she was all over me, and she doesn't even respond. I even added her on FB, and she didn't respond. Any advice, kind people of Yahoo Answer? Additional details. I'm 16 and she's 15. Ah, Jesus. I've invited her places, but she says she has a strict father. I think I can be fun.
Wow.
Can your girlfriend break up with you if she doesn't like your FB photos?"
It's just so weird to me that seems like the least of his worries.
Okay, listen. It's fucking hard out there, even for a relationship that's been going on as long as 3 days.
A solid 72-hour
A
relationship.
solid 72 hours. The first 48 were amazing. It was like before sunrise. Like every moment was just pregnant with romantic intent. And now she doesn't
She's
respond.
pregnant.
There has been a poke lingering for 8 hours, unanswered. An unrequited poke.
I'm an old man and I don't know any better, but isn't it weird that they would engage in a relationship and not already be Facebook friends?
That is quite puzzling. I think maybe this is a whirlwind affair. I think
I think
again,
it's got to be even a whirlwind affair. I feel like Facebook friendship should be step number one.
yeah.
Especially for a 15, 16-year-old. Like, if I'm considering that at 9:30, you got to think that they have that in a handbook somewhere.
I think if you don't have everyone in your high school on your Facebook friends list, you're basically, your high school career is over anyway.
Yeah. I like, me, I go to a party and I say, "Who here don't I know?" And people are like, "You don't know me. My name's Charlie." And I'm like, "Hold up. Charlie what?" And they're like, "Charlie Powell." And I say, "Okay, hold up." And then I whip out my phone, search them, link them, sync them, hand over my phone, say log in, accept that shit real quick. And then they say, "What?" I say, "Log into your Facebook account on my phone." And they're like, "I don't want you to have access to that."
You're a big Buffalo Bills fan, huh?
Huh? Oh, man.
Oh.
I see you like books.
Griffin
your
doesn't get
interests.
invited to a lot of parties, in case that wasn't clear.
No, but when I do, I make it fucking count.
And then he steals stuff from the person's house.
And I just walk to their house and take their things. They can't touch me. Actually, in Texas, they definitely can. Can't run that game in Tejas. Cannot do it. Cannot do it. They have strictures written down explicitly saying, "Don't do this thing, or you will be, or you can be harmed, capitally."
If you, in high school,
Yeah.
start dating someone, but you're not connected on Facebook, one. Two,
I don't-
you
I-
don't go out and hang out and do anything because she has a strict father.
Yeah. How did they get dating in the first place?
Yes.
It was a drive-in.
It was a drive-in dating scenario.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, I'm sure it was a drive-in. It might as well have been a spaceship, Griffin. The odds are equal that they found a drive. Like, unless they are their parents, like their connection is that their parents are weird drive-in enthusiasts that drive across the country looking for still open drive-ins.
Yeah.
That's the only reality in which that would happen.
What's the modern day drive-in? Because in our day, you go to a drive-in with a group of your friends, you would swap hot rods, right? And you would, neck.
You race for
You
pink
race
slips.
for pinks? Yeah.
You would neck for a solid 90 minutes, depending on the length of the movie. Sometimes you would say you would want to go to a longer movie, like Remains of the Day. You can get a solid 2.5 hours of necking in.
And what's the modern equivalent of that?
What is the modern equivalent of that? I guess anywhere, anything.
I often race for pink slips just at normal movie theaters now.
Outside the parking lot, you mean?
That would make it so much easier.
We should race our Toyota Matrices at some point.
What year is yours?
2003.
Oh, that's the slow shit.
I've souped it up. I've done quite a bit of work. I have a few.
What kind of stuff did you add to it?
Oh God, Hemi.
You put blazers in there.
Blazers. Nas, the rapper, just rides around with me. Brakes. I just took those out. So they're like wicked fast.
Never going slow again.
Yeah.
Griffin knows where all the mattress stores in town are now. That is one benefit of losing his brakes.
Yeah. Just stuff like that. 6 wheels. Just getting more traction. Do some more traction on the ground. Butter. Just covered everything in butter. Just get up real slippery in there. Which makes me pretty popular to drive in.
He has 2 steering wheels, one for left and one for right.
That's right.
It's basically like pod racing.
It can't go in park. It's another thing. That one was tricky to figure out. Just like the physics of it, is that it can't stop.
And you actually can't turn it off, if I remember correctly. You just
That's
welded
concept.
the key on.
Yeah, you could say she's a gas guzzler, except she's not powered by gas.
Oh?
Just fire. It runs on fire. So, pretty fast car if you want to race them. Yours sounds more stock than mine, but there's no shame in that. It's all about the driver, not about the beast.
That's what I learned from Too Fast, Too Furious.
Or at least the 45 minutes of it you watched.
Yeah, I couldn't finish it.
One would say that movie was a little too fast and too furious for Travis's.
Well,
taste.
The Rock never showed up, Vin Diesel never showed up, and I need my eye candy.
No, but you knew that was like 3 movies ahead, and you knew that eventually, like, God, The Rock has got to get messy up in this.
Well,
shit.
that's why I forced myself through the first 45 minutes, just so like I would understand when I got to 3 Fast, 3 Furious.
right.
Oh, you don't want to be lost, sure.
Yeah, I wanted to know what was up.
I mean, I don't think he showed up till Fast 5, but by 3 Fast, 3 Furious, you could already smell what The Rock was cooking, which is
Sorry,
weird.
did you say 3 Fast, 3 Fergie?
3 Fast,
That's what
3
it sounded
Fergie.
like.
She was in that one, I think. What was the one where she came in?
I thought there was 4 Fergies.
4 Fergies and a Ferguson. The Hugh Grant film. I want my...
You know, if you were going to shoplift, I bet the best place to hide things would be in your butt. Because not only would no one ever find it, but even if they knew where it was, they wouldn't go looking for it.
I mean, I already said that you can just walk out because no one can touch you, but I guess if you want to go the whole 9 yards...
Well, what if you like having things in your butt?
Well,
If you want to go the extra mile, there's only one way to go, and that's extremerestraints.com. They've got everything you can fit in your butt. If it fits, it ships.
And I bet it's like stuff that feels better to have up there than like a CD player.
maybe the Assimilator wireless silicone butt plug.
Wait, it's wireless? What other butt plugs are wired?
No one wants that weird cord dangling out of your khakis. Luckily, there's the Assimilator wireless silicone butt plug. It's your secret. No one else in Denny's needs to know that you've got this beautiful AAA goblin beauty
What percent?
jammed in your
What-
in your chute.
But what does the batteries do, Justin?
Well, the
It plays CDs. Didn't you
the
hear?
two batteries will play MP3s that reverberate through your colon, and you can hear them in your ears. Also, more importantly, it
Do you
vibrates.
guys hear air supply? I swear to God, I hear air supply.
That only works if you have braces. That's worth noting. But
Wow.
that's
That's why fucking Lucille Ball. She thought she heard radio signals all the time. It wasn't. It was Desi's radio butt plug.
you can use a remote control. It only has 2 buttons on it. I guess because the most important one is off. Because I can see a lot of scenarios in which, well, this is no longer appropriate.
There's one that says go and one that says go hard.
Don't worry, this one does come with a power button, so you can shut it off at some point. And there's 10 modes of vibrating pleasure, so you can pick that up at streamingtrains.com. Now, here's the thing about, and maybe use it as a spacer. There's lots of things you graduate up to the biggest things you can put in there until you can fit a nook.
I have a thick colonic wall. I may be sharing a little bit too much for you guys. Let me
No,
know when it
that's
starts
fine.
getting uncomfortable for you. But I have a really thick colonic wall. Will the wireless?
The question in Extreme Restraints is, when does it get uncomfortable for you?
I have a thick colonic wall, as I said a couple times now. Will the wireless signal from this remote be able to reach the device that I have installed within me? When I have
you have to put the device in your butthole, too.
Well,
I mean, that's...
now we're
it's
dealing
not-
with a little old lady who swallowed a fly scenario.
It's
I'm
not
gonna have to
magical,
shove a
right.
horse up there to get the 20th remote that I've shoved up there to shut down the 19th remote, and so on, etc. I'm just chock full of remotes over here. I'm just jangling around. Just a big
Is
big
the
ball of
remote
plastic and
programmable?
batteries.
Could I control both my butt plug and my Bose sound system?
Yep, but you don't want to get that turn around because you're either going to deal with really loud music or an exploded butthole.
Crank it. Oh, don't.
Oh, don't.
Oh, no. Don't crank it. That's all extremeexchange.com. Use the coupon code SEXABUNGA and save 20%. We want to give a message to Aaron Brown from Desiree Dupree. She says, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
You're
Happy
supposed to sing
birthday.
it. Oh, we can't do it.
No, we can't sing it. Don't sing it. We'll get
Sing it.
arrested.
Sing it, but sing it to the theme of a different song.
Okay.
Do it to Welcome Back, Cotter.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, dear Aaron. Happy birthday to ya.
What?
Hey, you're famous.
You don't have to sing this
Hope
part.
you have a good birthday because you're the best
What?
in town.
You're
According
adding.
to our new arrival.
You're-
Life is more than their survival. And they just try to live the good life. Yeah.
Standing tall on the wings of Aaron's birthday.
Henry, we got a message to you from Elisa. She says, please wish Henry a happy 27th birthday for me. Nothing to rearrange.
Show me that Henry again. Show me that Henry. Don't waste another Henry on your Henry.
It's a rare condition this day and age that me and Henry have been together for 12 years of sweet delight. Yet he only cares to hear birthday wishes from the mouths of the McElroys. Love him anyway.
What are the next words?
There must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls.
All right. I never knew the next words, but I'm glad I do now.
I got a message for Angelo from Dan, Greg, Nick, and Wayne.
Wayne.
Angelo, we hope you have the rudest, most hecklesome, nice and neat, math-filled birthday yet. I hope I didn't just say something gross. Don't let those cadavers you see on a daily basis bring you down. Here's hoping for high-quality goofs on this episode. Sorry, and shit in your pants now that you heard some authentic McElroy Leo-isms
Wait, what?
from your favorite. I think these guys hate Angelo.
Why do you hate Angelo so much? And why are you calling him a serial killer?
I mean, I guess joke's on them because they just paid like a Benny to wish him happy birthday on this podcast. So I guess good way to prank suckers.
is he seeing the cadavers on a professional level?
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Okay, hold on. Dan, Greg, Nick, and Wayne are dead bodies that haunt Angelo. No.
Oh, God.
Okay, Angelo killed Dan, Greg, Nick, and Wayne and actually wrote this message to himself from the perspective of their dead bodies.
Oh, and this is like the monkey's paw. This is the
The monkey's paw. This is the heart beating beneath the floorboards. That's driving
This is
him
the black
insane.
cat.
This is the in the pendulum.
This is Jesse Thorne, proprietor of MaximumFun.org and host of International Waters. International Waters pits a team of comedians in London against a team of comedians here in LA over several rounds of very stupid pop culture questions and games. We've got Paul F. Tompkins, Josie Long, Greg Proops, Claudio O'Doherty, Robin Ince, Andy Zaltzman, Paul Scheer, Izzy Sooty, Ricky Carmona, Cameron Esposito, Aaron Gibson, Brian Safi. So join me and the best comedians in the English-speaking world for International Waters. Go to MaximumFun.org or look for us in the iTunes Store.
Farm wisdom. Get your pitchfork.
Justin had a stroke.
Oh no! Did you know carrots? Do you know carrots can and being around goats can fix strokes?
Our first farm wisdom comes to us from IMDb. Says that John Dye was in Touched by an Angel, not James Spader.
Damn it!
Looks
Jesus
like
Christ!
James Spader. I know. I was surprised too. John Dye is dead now. He passed.
Was he
in
was he
2007.
playing James Spader?
He was playing James Spader, playing the Angel of Death. And he passed away. The skin on a turkey's head. The skin on a turkey's head and waddle can change with their mood. It can be red, pink, white, or blue. I think if they'd heard the past couple minutes of podcast, probably blue. That's from Alan. Trav, give me one. Break me off a piece.
Apparently, horses engage in a behavior called cribbing,
Where they go to Target and just like pick shit up and leave.
where they copy each other's test answers. Where they bite down on something like a wooden post and suck in air. It can cause stomach ulcers. They may do this out of boredom, stress, or dietary imbalance. Those are both from Alan.
People think we give horses a hard time. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Okay, no.
To be fair, it's not exactly like human beings. There's shit that we do where it's like, hey, if you drink too much alcohol, it can kill your liver. And be like, yeah, but I'm stressed. Alcohol. Which is what I say every time I take a shot.
If a horse gets this stupid because of boredom, stress, or dietary imbalance, that's not the horse's fault, though, is it? It's the owner's. And the fact that you have this precious treasure that you're fucking in charge of keeping not bored, not stressed, and not imbalanced, dietarily speaking. This isn't on the fucking horse, Justin. Horses are perfect. Also, if they do this, they probably have a pretty good reason for it, beyond the boredom or stress or dietary.
We can't see inside their heads. This might be a religious thing for horses.
Have you bitten down on a wooden post and sucked in air ever? Have you cribbed?
You will trip balls.
You will fucking get so fucked up. Horses
Personal
love
question.
to party.
If you want to keep rodents from eating your bird feeder, I hope they mean the seeds in your bird feeder. Okay, eating from your bird feeder. There we go. Put jalapeno poppers in the mix.
No, jalapeno pepper.
Man, this
put some potato skins and some mozzarella sticks in there.
good. This is Guy Fieri's target demo. Is rats.
Just take those rodents to Max and Irma's and get them triple apple slider pack.
Hey, bros, got rats in your bird feeder? Buy some of my mozzarella slammers.
Buy some sloppy doppy turkey bones.
Birds.
We coat them in hair gel to slide right down your throat.
Birds aren't able to taste the spiciness, but it does
Those
keep
poor
rats out
birds.
Birds are rats with wings. I don't know why we all
That's
are
from our
giving
dear
them-
friend Ausman.
Why are we
Ausman
giving them
Rika.
preferential treatment over rats? Rats are just terrestrial birds.
Rats are birds are rats are the birds of the ground. Think about it. I always want to try to dress professionally as possible at work. I follow blogs like Put This On and really make an effort to dress well. The problem is I often have to attend conferences for work and have to wear some sort of name badge.
Oh, man.
Always seems to clash with my style. How do I wear the name tag and remain stylish? That's from a lanyard hater in Little Rock. Oh, this is a great question.
This is a great...
This is one of those where it's like, I wish I knew.
Well, you got... I mean, if they're not going to supply you with a fashionable name tag, you have to supply your own.
Like maybe if you just had your own, like a silver carved kind of thing.
Well, I mean, silver
like that you
doesn't
just
go...
took.
Silver doesn't go with everything. I mean, if you want to... You got to have at least... At the very least,
What
you
about
got
a big diamond necklace with your name in it?
See, that's the
That's
reason...
good.
That's the reason that those exist.
Can you have a fashion lanyard with you? Okay, just keep a fashion lanyard.
Well, you got to have
hand.
one in black, one in brown, right, to go with your accessories. And then a casual lanyard, which really is going to be seasonal. I think you're going to want some pastels for the spring.
Well, you're also going to want like a utility lanyard, something that's durable and can withstand the elements for
Sure.
like outside conferences.
Yeah. When you're when you're at a mountain climbing conference business, what are you
Or
talking
like
about?
a paintball business mixer.
Maybe you could
We're up to 7 lanyards now that you need. Go on, Justin.
maybe you could class up the name tag a little bit by drawing pictures of classy stuff on it, like money clips or caviar or something.
So you're saying dip the lanyard? That's just a messy lanyard at that point.
No, I'm saying draw pictures of it. Draw a picture of caviar.
It'd be fun. My name's Brian, and you can tell the things I like.
I drew a picture of a sleek Lambo.
Is it possible?
Wait, is this a money-making thing where we could like have sticker books for adult professionals?
Every
so that
meeting-
they just have some Lamborghini stickers already.
Every meeting between 2 adults is a money-making opportunity.
Think about it.
Think about that. Can I? Is it possible to have a street team that just you don't wear a lanyard? They just go around the room and go up to people and say, "Brian," and then they point to you, and then nobody's gonna forget your fucking name at that point.
Brian's ready for you.
Just hire like a herald. That they walk into the meeting room before you and say, "My lords and ladies,
Brian approacheth. Prepare thyself for the oncoming Brian.
Or you want to get a little hipper, you hire a hype man. They come into the meeting room, they start flipping the light switches on and off.
yeah."
Oh, fuck.
Here he comes.
Hold on, though. What's the hype man gonna wear? You're gonna have to get him pastels for the spring.
You gotta get a smaller hype man.
You gotta get a smaller hype man ad infinitum. Let's see. So many great ideas so far. Can you get a business jersey?
Sorry, that actually creates twice the problems that it solves.
No, a business jersey. You can color coordinate that easy. And then your name is just on the back of
a
it.
business cape.
Business cape with your name on it is a little gauche.
Business robe?
That's moving in the right direction.
Oh, sort of like a boxing vibe.
Yeah, I'm talking like business trunks, business gloves.
The champ is here.
business boots.
And
Champ
they
is
flip
here
the
to talk
lights on
about
and
business.
off.
Sign your name on the... I can't gloves. Can't sign shit. Luckily, my Herald is authorized to sign
I
for me.
have his power of attorney.
I'm just waiting for him to die. I'm his lover.
Then I'll inherit everything.
I'm his lover, and he won't acknowledge me publicly.
At
Here's
night,
Brian.
in bed, I think about killing and becoming Brian. No one would notice. It would be a seamless transition.
Hold on, I forgot to flip the lights on and off. He loves that.
He loves that. Oh, Brian.
Maybe sunglasses in the shape of the word Brian.
I like that. Like the 2000. Find those people that make them for the year, and they thought they had a really good scam until 2009 when they just had that meeting where they had to stand around like, okay, look, guys,
What do we do?
I think we can work something out for 2010 pretty good, but past that, I think we're just going to be really flying by the seat of our pants.
We'll see you guys again in 20,000.
I just hope there's still eyes.
Or that people have evolved 3 eyes. because then we will have it made in the shade.
There will be nothing but shade, though, because it'll be covered in an ash cloud.
The most important part of style is to not make anyone feel uncomfortable with your style, right? Your style is for everyone else's benefit, to look at you and be odd, right? And I think if you show up and you're the only one with a gold-plated name tag or a Herald dressed in pastels in the spring, of course, then like you're gonna stick out, and everyone's gonna feel uncomfortable that they didn't bring their own Herald, or maybe they did. Maybe that is the coterie in which you run. And in that case, where do I sign up?
I have to guess that if that was the norm for Brian and his business dealings, that information would have probably been included in the question. Like, I try to dress nice, and I always dress my Herald in pastels when it is the spring.
That's the only palette that I know, by the way, matching the season. If it's wintertime, I don't know. Snow
You do blues
color?
and whites. You do blues and whites in the winter. You're gonna do the autumnal, like some browns, some oranges, some
And
yellows.
summer is just a fucking Jimmy Buffett orgasm explosion.
But he has to maintain the same decorum and professional nature.
I thought it was just pastels, but shorter. Everything's shorter. A
Like
pastel,
Jimmy Buffett pastels.
like a pastel crop top. It's a great look. You guys want a Yahoo?
Please.
This Yahoo was sent in by Daniel Shires. Thanks, Daniel. By the way, and Daniel wasn't guilty of this, but I feel like it's time for me to sit down our audience and have a very stirring talk with them about the subject matter of Yahoos that we're looking for. I mean, we can make it pretty quick, because like I could come up with a bullet list of no-nos. Like, number 1, incest. Number 2, poop. Number 3, poop incest. Very, very much frowned upon. If anything involves, like, pooping on someone, especially a family member, you probably just go ahead and keep that one in your pocket. Especially don't send it in saying, hey, I found a real gym, because then I can't help but pass judgment on you and the type of person you are.
Weirdo.
You fucking weird beard. Just keep those to yourself, and, keep digging, because you'll find something not about poop or incest eventually. Just dig deep. There are Yahoos about other things. Anyway, thank you everybody for your submissions. This is by Daniel Shires, though. He sent this one in. Thanks, Daniel. It's by Yahoo Answers user Jacqueline, who asks, I just clicked a Yahoo advertisement link. Let me just go ahead and close out of that, and then I can get back to business. How do I get Jonah Hill to notice me on Twitter? I want to get noticed by Jonah Hill on Twitter. He's like my idol. I swear, if I had to die just to save his life, I would. But please help me get noticed by him. Would mean the world. Thanks, Jacqueline XX.
Jacqueline, I think if you're willing to die so that he may live, it sounds like you've already got a pretty good method of getting his attention.
Yeah.
Is this what
Do
this?
you ever hear that? Do you ever hear that Eminem documentary Stan? That was the only way that Eminem ever acknowledged him.
Right, and they formed a long friendship that lasted to this very day. Is this what the song "Your Own Personal Jesus" is about? Like this person wants to die for Jonah Hill.
That Jonah Hill is their Jesus.
For Jacqueline,
No,
so loved
they
Jonah
want to be
Hill.
Jesus of Jonah Hill,
Right.
dying for his sins, and there are many. I saw Moneyball.
He was great in
Moneyball was
What
a
are you talking
fine
about?
film.
I know, but I couldn't think of a bad one. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, that's a fun puzzle. Try to think of a bad Jonah Hill film before you start talking shit about him and his career. Can't do it.
I don't think he's ever been in a bad film. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try the joke again. Griffin will just edit this, I'm sure. Oh, he's got sins. I saw the sinner. And let me do
okay.
one cold so you can just, in case the other edit's better, I'll just record this wild. The sinner.
Can I get? Can you give me
Can we
three
get a
more?
Cyrus goof?
What? Oh, yeah.
Cyrus.
Cyrus.
All right, we're doing great here. We're doing great. Picking on Jonah Hill. How do you get someone like someone of the Jonah Hill echelon to notice you on Twitter? Someone from the Brat Pack. What are they called?
I think they're just friends of Judd Apatow.
Aren't they the frat pack?
The Frat Pack, I think, actually maybe. No, isn't that like? I don't think that's the same
that's like
circuit.
Will Ferrell and
Weed,
all
but
those guys.
I think there maybe it had something to do with weed because they
Yeah.
all seem to have quite an affinity.
Did you
for-
just call him Will Ferrell?
It came out wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay. Just wanted to make
Did
sure
you hear
we
the
didn't
new
let that
Daft
one
Punk?
slide past.
The new Daft Punk with samples from Will Ferrell in it. It's great. Does that one impression of that guy from that thing?
Jonah Hill seems to me like the type of celebrity that, while I mean he's definitely up there, it strikes me that he's not like a Brad Pitt level kind of like.
Oh, some of that did rub off during Moneyball. You're in a movie with Brad Pitt, and you get the sexiness that follows you along. And if you don't believe me, watch Jonah Hill on Moneyball, then watch him in This Is the End. Dude picked up dude got some shit definitely figured out between those two films. How do you get someone to mention you on Twitter? How do you get someone? I think if you just tweet at him and say, "Hey Jonah Hill, I die for you. Follow back. RT, please, for a friend."
The problem is you got to
rinse
look
and repeat.
What's important is you have to look at his feed, right? You look for people he has tweeted to. Has he tweeted to fans, right? Has he said, "Hey, shout out to my boy this guy," or replied to anyone? And I'm looking through his feed, and I don't think he's ever replied to anyone. So I think you're wasting your time with this right now. I think you need to move on to greener pastures.
Well,
or just go directly to get him to see you in real life.
the tried and true method used to be you try and kill Ronald Reagan. Mm-hmm. But that method doesn't. You can't do that method anymore. You could claim
for everybody,
or you could claim responsibility for his death on Twitter, and then that might be enough to get to pique his interest.
Kill a Ronald Reagan, because I bet there's more than the one.
I'm hoping that one of the ways to get the attention of Jonah Hill is not to make fun of a couple of bad movies he's been in, because
yeah. And first of all, we had to think
Jonah Hill and Jesse got beef.
First of all, if he is listening to this, I hope he doesn't get upset, because really, how long did we have to think before we could think of a bad movie that he was in it? And really, like, the average length of time that it would take to think of anybody in a bad movie, like, is much, much shorter than it took us to think of Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill, he did his time, he did his Cyrus, but he's making fucking solid gold hits now. I love that dude.
Did you guys see 21 Jump Street?
Yes, I did. It's a fucking great movie, Jonah Hill. I'm so sorry. Follow me on Twitter, Griffin McElroy.
22 Jump Street is coming, right?
Oh no, is it?
I just learned that from his Twitter feed.
Man,
follow
valuable
back.
Source.
Follow back, Jonah Hill.
I guess.
That's a good way to get him to notice you beat Channing Tatum.
Yeah, if you can be Channing Tatum, I bet he'll reply.
Pretend to be Channing Tatum.
I don't think that's gonna work.
There's anonymity. Griffin, you were all about shoplifting, but identity theft is a sticking point for you.
I mean, it's just harder to do. You can't walk in and take Channing Tatum. You know what I mean? You can't just like go into Channing Tatum's house.
Ocean's 15.
Ocean's 15. We gotta have Channing Tatum. Oops, we stole Stockard Channing. It's okay. That's an easy mistake for anyone to make, including Griffin, constantly.
Every day.
Every goddamn day.
Listen,
I'm sorry I skipped Ocean's 14, you guys.
It's okay.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. We hope you've had some fun. We're sorry we're not with you. The funny joke about the greatest hit shows is they take infinitely longer
It takes so long.
edit together than
And it also requires
recording.
us to like listen to when we weren't I don't know. Do you think we were better in the days, or do you think we were shittier? Because I always think we're shittier. Because it takes
our
us
highs were higher and our lows were lower.
We're so much lower because it takes us so long to find gems in the shit.
But thank you for downloading that. We hope that this week, if you get a second, it would be awesome if you share the show with people or review it on iTunes. Something to help us spread the word. We don't have a big PR firm behind us. We don't have a Herald. We only have you. So we need you to help us pass the word around. And we'll do our part right now by recommending some of the other great Maximum Fun podcasts, like Stop Podcasting Yourself, Judge John Hodgman, Jordan Jesse Go, Wham Bam Pow, Bullseye,
One Bad Mother.
And
make sure you check out Sawbones. It's the show Justin does with his wife, Sydney. It's mine and Teresa's favorite. We listen to it constantly, re-listen to old episodes.
Catch the fucking Sawbones wave that is like sweeping the nation. Justin's too humble to talk about this, but that show is about to start doing better than this one. And
it was in like the top 10 on iTunes.
That's sickening.
It's disgusting, but we try our best. Thank you to people tweeting about the show like Ian Dukes, Caitlin Klein, Josh, Diabolical Machines, JP, Matt Brown, Ryan Lynch, One Gentleman Named Comedy Podcast. I don't think he's a person. Sam, Lou Bega.
Is it Lou Bega Sr.?
Lou Bega Vivo. That's Lou Bega's official YouTube channel.
What?
I don't think it is actually Lou Bega's Vivo channel.
Still,
but
that's a
it is
great Twitter
pretty
name.
Great Twitter name. Church's wife, her old friend, Jess Krauwauza. I'm sorry I messed that up, Jess. And thank you to everyone else listening and sharing the show. It really means the world to me.
Justin, open up that mailbag. Tell us what's in there.
Oh, crap. We got so much mail from you guys. No fewer than 3 wedding invitations.
Did we? Can you please make sure you respond to those? I'm still.
I do.
Wedding is
I
a
do.
fucking month out, and I'm still like missing RSVPs from people. You know who?
Are any of them near any of us?
Yeah.
Is there any in Cincinnati?
No, they're actually all passed because I forgot to check the mailbox for a while. But
You
I
dick.
did spend. Okay, listen, I'm trying my best.
Can you
on here.
RSVP now at least so you don't like? I don't want people to think that I'm a dick just because you're a layabout.
Kate and Liz sent us a horse named Orb that they got in Iceland. We got a note from Erica, Sam, and Kim that has pictures of gorillas on it.
Like that?
Got a one from China from Payton. That's lovely.
Is it a
our
postcard or
uncle
do they live in China?
It's a postcard from China. Our uncle Travelin' Matt sent us postcards from all over, including but not limited to Portland, Los Angeles, Olympia, Seattle, Chicago. He sent us one from there. Catherine and Matthew sent us a beautiful postcard from Croatia. We got to save the date for Joanna and Kyle's wedding. Not going to be able to make that one because it is past, but gosh, I wish we could have
Whoa,
come. Same
hold
for
on, fuck.
Corinne
We
and
gotta
Karen.
save the date and we already missed the wedding?
Sorry, okay? I'm trying my best out here. Corinne and Kevin, again, sorry we couldn't make it. That was in August, but...
Jesus.
By this
Dawn
much.
and Benjamin.
By a hair.
Dawn and Benjamin, consider this our RSVP. Sorry we couldn't make it. Sorry I didn't check
With
mailbox
regrets,
for so long.
I guess, kind
With
of.
regrets, I guess. I want Griffin to thank John Roderick and the Long Winners for the use of their theme song. It's a departure off the album, Put in the Days to Bed. Griff, can you do that real quick?
Thanks, guys.
And thanks to you. Here's one last question.
Oh, make sure if you want to wish someone happy birthday, or if you know someone that's a fan of the show and you want to send out a special personal message to them, go to MaximumFun.org/Jumbotron.
Can you guys
Please, I love you so much, but please don't email us because we have no mechanism to set it up. You have to go through MaximumFun.org/Jumbotron.
No, but we appreciate your emails. If you just want to email us and just like chat. Guys, 20 Dirt, we're like 60 days left in it. Can you fucking believe that?
Did you get all your dirt out? Did you dig it up? Wash it out?
Wash it out. Rinse out those sheets. What's 2014 going to be?
You know, somebody emailed today and said go full bore in 21-4, which I really kind of liked.
We'll figure it out. We'll get it together. I feel like tomorrow year is going to be a banner year for us. And it's not going to be much harder to beat this year, I think.
Yeah, we'll actually do a live show in 2014.
We'll actually do live
That's my
shows.
promise to you, the listener. We'll do live shows, I promise.
We'll have time on our hands.
We'll have time to do it.
And
It's
I'm going
been
to
a
try.
busy year.
I'm really going to push us to try to do something in the UK in the next year or two.
Oh,
Don't
Jesus.
just
Don't
sell
promise
us
that.
out. I mean, just don't promise it. Griffin, take us out.
I said push. I didn't promise nothing.
Final Yahoo was sent in by Alan Black. Thanks, Alan Black. It's by Yahoo Answers user Rosalie, who asks, what the heck is masturbating?
I'm Justin McElroy.
I'm Travis McElroy.
I'm Griffin McElroy.
This has been my brother, and me. Kiss your dad square on the lips.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Listener supported.
This is Biz.
This is Teresa.
We host a show called One Bad Mother.
We're a comedy podcast about parenting.
Not a parenting podcast.
And for some reason, we seem to be most popular among single dudes with no kids.
Weird. The only advice you'll get from us is when we tell you to stop feeling like shit for being a mom.
Or a dad.
Or, a single person with no children.
Find us on iTunes or at MaximumFun.org.